Ryan, 22 months. Appreciate you, bro. What the hell? Why is my camera all jacked up like that? I have no idea. What's up, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. We're gonna get into some Cade Klubnik film. There he is, the GOAT. Yo. Hold on, I'll get you in here. Oh, my man's sitting on the couch. Oh shit.
Yes, sir. We got the new setup.
Oh, that's fancy. All right,
oh yeah.
Hold up. Let me get you in here. All right, cool. Slide this over a little bit like this.
Put the feet up.
Yeah, my man got the feet up and the kneecaps out. All right.
Yeah.
This is his game against NC State. Can you hear the music?
Yeah, yeah.
You can?
Yeah. I got it in here.
Okay.
7 in the box.
Yeah.
This looks like man-to-man coverage.
Well, they scared him to film off of.
Oh yeah, cover 0 right there.
Ooh. Hold up.
So he's got a free blitzer off the right edge.
Yeah, you see they're rushing 3 too. With the pull and tackle and guard. I see. Fake handoff, acting like it's going to be outside zone. He could have gotten a little bit of trouble there. A little bit. I don't like the way. What the hell? Why'd it cut like that? That was crazy. Yeah, he had to pull that. He had to pull that quick.
Yeah.
Look at the throw motion. He wasn't comfortable at all.
Strike though. I mean, that's right on the money.
Hey, yeah, with all the danger that was there, I like it. 3x2 set here. What up, Torque? They're playing a little zoney. maybe.
They're in a man alignment. Yeah, they're going to cover 1.
They're playing pretty far back. Let's see. That's almost a 10-yard split there, but okay. Hey, he hits you guys again on a 5-yard out. That's crazy work.
Well, he sees what the defense is doing so quickly and immediately goes to his quick man beater, right? The out, both plays there. He knows exactly where he's going because he sees pressure and he sees man coverage across the board. So he turns his attention immediately to the quick out, hits him in stride, great throw, both plays.
This is Louisville.
It was Louisville?
Oh, I'm sorry, NC State. I was reading Tori's comment. Chewy said, how do you avoid copyright? First of all, this is All-22, and also I went through the scouting program, so I just go into DV Sports and ask them to release the claim. I don't really care. Sometimes they claim it and I don't even ask for it, but they don't take our channel down because of it. I would not advise to use this if on your own channels. Little fake to Antonio Williams. I think this is the game that he tore them up on the ground too. I think he had like 70 yards if I remember right.
Yeah, there's 60 of them.
Yeah.
He's quick. Like that's the thing about him is kind of like Daniel Jones when he gets.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, he's gonna make you pay. Now, obviously, he didn't slip and fall on that play at the 15-yard line. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be someone who you feel comfortable kind of getting him outside the pocket. And sure, maybe you don't run a quarterback counter like they've just ran right there in the NFL. But, you feel comfortable with him. Maybe integrating some options. You feel comfortable with him if he needs to, extend plays with his legs. It's not kind of like you're holding your breath once he gets past the line of scrimmage. You feel comfortable with him getting downfield, trying to pick some yards up with his legs, just because it's clearly a part of his game that is effective.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this. We used to call this a single assignment, right? Like, that the edge is coming, and your most important guy on this play is going to be him. He's got to come up and seal off the safety and then make sure that this guy doesn't poke in either. It's kind of slicky to have all these guys. Look, all these jerseys are turned backwards. That's a good sign that you're going to be able to get a couple yards. What were they scared of here? Obviously something that they saw. This is something that you saw on film before. And now in your game plan, you switch it up. This is probably one of those, inside tosses that he gave to Antonio Williams that they switched up for just this game. People don't know, man. You probably know this too. Like, as a coach, you got to switch up your playbook week to week. Like that adjustment right there, you probably just take it out. We're not gonna toss it out to Antonio Williams this game. It's gonna be, I'm taking it right up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about setting up the opposing defenses by giving them certain looks, using certain motion with the same players to, knowing that the defense is watching film. You're trying to get them to anticipate one play and then do something else, right? So it's clear that the way the defense reacted, that Clemson has had that jet motion from Antonio Williams with a little pop pass in front of Klubnik, and he gets some yards running out wide. Defense, having watched film, doing their homework, right? They're ready for this. They're ready for the motion. They're ready for the play. So when Antonio Williams comes across that backside backer or like lineman, he's ready to set the edge, right? As soon as that happens, though, he's that edge rusher is frozen, which you kind of pointed him out and where he was at on the field. So as soon as Klubnik wants to take off, that edge rusher isn't crashing down to hit Klubnik. He's staying home, anticipating Antonio Williams coming across the formation. When Klubnik, doesn't toss the ball, he has so much space, with a pulling guard and tackle. Or maybe it's a tackle and tight end. But either way, right? He has two pulling linemen coming in to block for him, and all the space in the world.
So last year, I was just looking it up. Hold on. So App State was their game before, and at the beginning of their season, they ran a bunch of 4-3. So this actually makes sense, right? Like they're playing 3-4 here. So before, you didn't have that many linebackers to chase after your running back. And with this play, obviously you got a weak, strong, and two inside backers here. So you got two Mike backers. And so yeah, it makes sense that they switched it up a little bit for this specific defense. And this guy's kind of wants to play in the box. So it's almost like having 5 linebackers in the box, and your guys here don't have to work as much. So
you know, that left tackle, he went. We were at the same Team USA training camp together in Arlington, way back when we were in high school, because we were in the same graduating class. I got a shirt with everyone's name on the back of it, so I was not a 5-star. I wasn't anywhere close. I didn't play college ball, but I mean, it's pretty cool being like, oh hey, this guy, you know, he's a starter for Clemson, national title contenders, and possible first-round pick. And yeah, we were out there on the same field together and didn't even know it.
BB99, what's up, man? He said, I'm a starting tight end and defensive end for Ruston High School. Follow us on Twitter, man. I'll review your film. Send it over to me. As a former coach, I've been doing that for a while for guys. So I'd love to see you play and get your name out there a little bit. I want to see Jake Brennan still here. That's all you need to do. You need to throw him off a position. I'm not asking you to do much. Just go find some work. That boy put the zoomies on him there.
Very well set up play by Garrett Riley.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. Has him and Lincoln, they've coached together, right, at Oklahoma, right?
I'm honestly not sure.
Let me see.
He's never coached at Oklahoma. Garrett.
Okay. Have coached together. They now they work together at East Carolina.
I see.
Interesting.
That was way back when.
Yeah. All right, taking this shit to the left hash mark here. Look at that. Look how they're setting up the outside throws to each side, opening up the middle of the field. You see that? This shit is smart.
He got some gas on those throws.
I've been saying this shit for 2 years, bro. I don't know why people thought Cade Klubnik was not one of those ones, bro. You put Cade Klubnik on those Trevor Lawrence teams, they might have won a national championship 3 times in a row. Look at that.
Find him wide open in the middle.
Look what the linebackers are doing. And they're trying to catch that outside zone. You see them? Watch the 2 Mike backers. Oh, shit. Let Brennan's still open. Yeah, y'all can't do this shit against Cade Klubnik. Where's Brennan still at? Didn't he go to the Rams?
Kansas City, I believe.
Jake Brennan still. Oh, the league fucked up. It's him, Jalen Royals. There's another wide receiver that I like that's there too. Hold on, let me find out real quick. I was looking at it earlier today. Who was that? Oh, he's a small guy. Magdalena from Fresno State is there too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. People think that the Chiefs will go take a step back. That's crazy, bro. Damn, that's crazy. It's always fun seeing guys you played against in high school at the higher levels. We don't speak about Tavon Austin in this household. I told you guys. Smart play. He could have forced it down there to Antonio Williams after he ran that. Look at that post. If he really wanted to put it in front of him, I don't know if he would have slowed down to try to find it, and this guy would have eventually caught up to him.
But he could have tried to lead him downfield.
Yeah.
But I don't mind taking the check down here.
Well, I mean, even looking at Antonio, he like jumped up like, I could have been open, but hey, shit, I'd rather you take this play right here. Oh shit, did he get popped? Oh no, you gotta rush her at you. Yeah. I'm sorry, Antonio. You could be mad about this shit, but I wouldn't have thrown that either. Cause right here, he's gonna get blown up.
Yeah, and Williams, he doesn't get that step on him until after Klubnik is already, in his throwing motion out to the flats. And
look at this. If he's throwing off his back foot on a check down, what the fuck do you think he was gonna do, Antonio Williams? That shit wouldn't have been accurate.
Throw him.
Yeah. He didn't even get hit that hard. I guess it's just the way that he fell. Shifted all to the right. Oh, that was ridiculous. Let's rewind this shit. Woo. On the run too. Hold on, let me pull the screen recorder out on this one. Khalid, that was ridiculous, bro. That was absolutely monstrous. All right, record.
Off platform, rolling to his right.
Man, that catch was ridiculous too.
Oh yeah, he high pointed that thing. Golly, what a throw.
Yeah.
All right, rolls out, leads him downfield.
I mean, from this view, that shit's a little scary, to be honest. Like, I'm trying to imagine if I was Cade Klubnik and I'm running right here, bro. I mean, he caught that dude turning. You caught him right at the right time, Cade. You see how number 3 tried to shift back? Yeah, he shifted too deep into the numbers right there. But shit, that's still kind of scary if you throw that shit. As soon as he turns like this to catch it, I'm Cade Klubnik. I'm like clenching my ass cheeks that I put this shit on target.
That's a 45-yard throw on the run, off platform, with pinpoint accuracy. Good job keeping your receiver out of harm's way. Golly, that other throw, bro, you gotta post that to Twitter. That's some devious work. Easy money.
Yeah, that was just that was just sufficient.
Yep.
Wait a second, who's the 3 technique? Damn, 71 got his ass crushed. Woo. Yeah, I just posted it. That shit was ridiculous, man. You gonna give him house money by going 4 wide like this? Oh, Garrett Riley saw something. I don't know about that one. That's a little scary right there. Look at where the linebacker is.
Yeah.
That shit's got to be perfect. I mean, again, that is a perfect throw for where you put it, but like I wouldn't bank on making that pass every single day. That's one of them shits in college football 25 to get picked off.
I just wish that he had recognized the man coverage and then looked to his left where he had a fade route.
Yeah.
Because his guy had gotten a step on the defender. I mean, that hit his hands, you know?
That's what I'm saying. That's
to bring that in.
That's perfect.
But that is definitely a risky throw.
Look at the lone safety. Oh, they switched. They switched cover one to the left side. Oh, and he dipped in the middle of the field.
He's tossing it deep.
Oh, yeah. I would have too. Oh, he dropped that shit. Oh, oh man, that is crazy ridiculous. As soon as you see this man peel and this guy come down, somebody's in a one-on-one matchup. Boom. This is the type of shit that I was saying Shedeur should be able to do routinely. At least try, right? With Jimmy Horn and the rest of them, and he used to miss this shit all the time, which used to, like, people do this disguise cover one all the time where they do that switch foot type shit where the corner will come down or the safety will come down and then the corner just drops back. Look at this. I mean, you're not gonna be able to do this in the NFL all the time because Derek Stingley Jr. and the rest of them are in the league, but like in college, man.
That was also just poor play by the DB who drops here. I mean, your number one rule is that in the deep zone is to let no one behind you.
Yeah.
And he let someone behind him in a one-on-one matchup. That's just risky business.
Stacking the box again. Cover one. Then you gonna toss it deep again.
And he took a hit there, but that one was right on the money and completed.
Yo, it's crazy because we haven't seen this game since the season. I'm seeing the same play on deal. Who's their defensive coordinator at NC State? This is ridiculous. That's some amateur shit, man. Shit, if I was Garrett, I'd be doing that. I'd just be doing double nines the whole time.
DJ Elliott.
This was bad play calling right here. Well, yeah, we know you're gonna rush us, good sir, and you're gonna have to leave me a one-on-one matchup on the outside. I'm tossing this shit. Bam. Bro, I mean, he could have got a hand in there most likely.
What a catch.
Oh, he did. That was pretty much a one-handed catch. Bro, that was a one-handed catch by him, bro.
If you're the DB, it's hard to play that much better. It really is. It's a combination. You want to rip more, but
there's nothing that you could do on that. That's Brian Wesco, right?
Is it 12?
Number one? No. It's number one.
One is that? I'm pretty sure that's TJ Moore. I believe TJ Moore is 1. Yeah,
you're right.
Troy Stellato is 10, and then Wesco is 12.
Bro, if they play like this year, bro, my goodness. Yeah, hit him with the short game.
And you get the first down.
That one came out a little wobbly, but he was able to get everything set. Cover one again. Dump it off to the X right here.
Is that Stellato?
Yeah. Look at Adam Randall. Look at number 8 blocking his ass off too on his end around. Look at this shit.
Oh yeah, dude, you love it,
bro. If they play like this year, bro, it's over for everybody. Yeah, this is one of them annoying game plans that you have to play against. It's just short game, hit you over the top. This reminds me of Will Stein. But the amount of people that complained about Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel running the system, almost identical to what Will Stein's doing. Except Will Stein looks like Garrett Riley's doing this a little bit differently. When he sees that cover one, he's going to keep attacking you over the top. Will Stein's a little bit more conserved, but you know how they are when they talk about, all they do is dump the ball off. All they do is check down. Bro, you got to fill it out. It's like a boxing match.
Golly.
Look how they're stacking 4 receivers to one side. My goodness, look at the mismatch. Then he gets a first down just running the ball. You into Phil Still, God?
Oh yeah, I just had to look at the receivers who are leaving. You know, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of their top 8 receivers.
Yeah.
The only ones they're losing are Jake Brenningstool and Troy Stellato.
That's it. So
they returned their top 3 in Antonio Williams, Bryant Wesco Jr., T.J. Moore,
Adam Randall,
Cole Randall, and Adam Randall below him. Yeah.
I wish he would have got that one back. Man, after all the pretty balls, pause if necessary. Oh man.
Pause is needed there.
Yeah. But after all the ones that he threw today, this one was less than ideal.
And who was that Stellato again? He got open. I mean, he snapped inside on that curl. Got so much separation. If you're Klubnik, you got to make that throw.
Yeah, that's the first down.
That's a running back.
That was a first down though.
Yeah, you got to make that throw, man. That's
the cheating
you know
up.
they're playing heat.
Yep.
You know they're
over the middle of the field. Get out of there. Throw it away. There you go.
How did he get that throw off? Look,
I think we've been downplaying the athleticism of Cade Klubnik a little bit.
Oh, for sure. Granted, if that happens in the league, I don't think he's getting that throw off when you have NFL pass rushers.
I need to pull out the South Carolina film and see how he dealt with them.
Well, Clemson did lose that game, so I think that would be a very interesting one to watch, is to see how he responds to the duo of Dylan Stewart and Kyle Kennard off the edge.
Well, all of them: T.J. Sanders, Tonka Hemingway, Demetrius Knight. And that was again. I think about that team and I just cried to myself, bro. We'll never see this team ever again. They were a special team if they could have just put it all together, bro. On offense, it was just like offensively they were missing something. That defense was solid, all of them. O'Donnell Fortune, Jalen Kilgore's coming back.
It was a true pass catcher. Incomplete. Oh, that was a tough throw. But okay, what I liked here. This is more so about Garrett Riley, but you can kind of see some of the offensive creativity and genius when you go back to that play, because what we have seen a lot up to this point is we've seen a lot of tackle and tight end pulling, and that lures the defense in. But both of these last 2 plays that you've seen, that tackle has pulled, but the tight end has taken 1 step in and then gone outside. So I really do like what Garrett Riley is doing here for Cade Klubnik by just setting up this 3-3-5 defense to anticipate ground and pound and then just air it out.
Mm-hmm. All right, it's switching up a little bit here. Play a little bit of cover 3. Yeah, I'm going to eat you up in a short game. Send them.
Yep, easy money. He's
That's
got
so
space.
funny.
Let him do his thing.
That was so funny. He pump faked and then while looking at film off the whole time.
Oh, this was the game Clemson pulled their starters early, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
Yes, this was because NC State ended up putting 35 on the scoreboard. Oh, I watched this game.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember watching this shit too.
That's right, because I was watching CJ Bailey, the quarterback for NC State.
Because I think this was was this the game where CJ Bailey had like 4 good games before this? When what's his name got hurt, and people were like, when McCall got hurt, and everybody was talking about how CJ Bailey might be the next best thing, and then he came to Clemson and kind of shit the bed.
Yeah, all of his stats most of them came from garbage time because again, Clemson put in the freshman, but even then, I believe it was Ashton Hampton had a pick 6 in this game. Ooh.
Again, if I was playing college football 25, that would have been a fucking pick 6 every time.
Well, they've been trying to run these quick outs to the short side of the field so much that the defense
they finally caught on.
Keyed in on it. Yeah. Because I mean, you belly it with the running back, pull it out, sling it to the near side.
Yep.
To the boundary and
nice, right over the middle.
Dude,
oh shit!
He got drilled on that. Did he not? Like, golly, the kid's tough. Yeah. They make them different down there at Westlake in Austin. You think of some of the quarterbacks who have come out there, they are the definition of tough and gritty. You have Cade Klubnik, Sam Ehlinger, Nick Foles, and Drew Brees. Those are some of the toughest dudes who have played the position as of late, right? Sam Ehlinger and Cade Klubnik, the way that they just tough it out in each game. And then you see Drew Brees, the way that he conducted himself, especially late in his career with his shoulder. Warriors, man.
Yeah.
And look at what he can do with his legs right here. He's gonna go for a little stiff arm.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a keen eye on these linebackers. This is kind of annoying because like they either shift together or they're like following somebody, which
post-snap?
was pre-snap. And I mean they finally let him drop back in coverage because you've been seeing they've been doing like this the whole time, rushing three technique gets around there and then they're rushing. This time they drop back in coverage. They are figuring out no path on helping themselves, but this doesn't make it easy when you have an athletic quarterback like this because it's just like shit. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Well, that's the tough thing with the 3-3-5 that they've been going with all game. Is, if you really do just want to drop 8 and only rush 3 with a guy like Klubnik, if you cover all of the receivers, he's not going to have much of a pass rush coming at him, so he's just going to take off, find open space, and run like he does on this play. And like we've seen up to this point in the game, if you try to send extra rushers from the second level with your linebackers, whether it be 1, 2, or 3 of them, Klubnik is going to make you pay because he's going to ID the blitz and he's going to go find his man-beating route and he's going to make the play. So the 3-3-5 approach here is very interesting because your quote-unquote base look is only going to be rushing 3 like you see right here. And Klubnik's just going to take off and beat you with it.
Well, and then number 10 to me is, the crazy thing is like, as a defensive coordinator, why would you want to show exactly anything that you're doing outside of maybe man and zone coverage? When you have 3 of these guys shifting that are focusing on one guy in motion, I mean, you're obviously telling us that, we're preparing for some type of pass. Now, if he was to audible and switch this up to a run play, these guys would have been screwed. And then look at number 10 here. What? Bruh, they're obviously running underneath and mesh. And you're dropping back.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm confused on what they're trying to do. I mean, because to me, if I'm seeing 3 linebackers move too, I'm like, all right, well, they're prepared for passing play. So if none of my guys are open in mesh, I'm running it. And that's exactly what he did. I bet you
Yeah.
Garrett was sitting here laughing the whole time. What the fuck are they doing? Okay. Now we got what? Three down linemen, 4 guys across the board here. Mike's probably going to drop back here. Nope. Okay, so they were prepared for that, but there was no movement, so good.
Yeah, just a quarterback zone.
Well, like the whole time, like I was saying, like they all move together. It's like we either shift to one side and then you just completely leave one side of the field open.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And yeah, Cade is.
It's too easy for him, man.
You're giving him one-on-one matchups like all game long.
And to me, again, is it just they are not disciplined enough to deal with any type of short game in the red zone? I wouldn't want to be in your end zone. You got to expect these short little routes. How many times do quarterbacks score off of a tight end doing this, or a running back doing this, or them coming up and scoring here? Like, I would have never let my back feet touch his end zone. Unless he was, unless he was doing some crossing route or something in the inside where I had to defend it. But like, that was on a DB there. I think this is the last play before he got pulled. And absolutely no outside contained from the linebackers or this safety at all to even deal with this. So if Cade really wanted to pull this, he probably could, as long as he made this guy miss.
Yeah. But I mean, the one thing to remember with that route as well, you're throwing it short to the outside boundary, right? Or sorry, field, to the field. So and in college, we've talked about this, Don, how impressive it is to make the throws in college from an outside hash, from one hash to the outside, sideline. We've seen Jalen Earl do it.
Rolling out here
we've seen
and making
Curtis
a pass
Ford
here.
do
It's crazy.
Like that last play, seeing Klubnik lining up on the left hash, taking a snap, throwing a quick out on the money to the right side of the field is an incredibly difficult throw to make.
It's like a 10-yard pass.
It's more difficult to do that than it is in the NFL, right? Because of how wide the hashes are in college. So for him to be able to have the anticipation and the arm strength and all that to make this throw is very impressive, and a good sign that he's ready for some of these kinds of throws that he's going to be making in the NFL a year from now, right? So sure, it's a little quick out in man coverage. His receiver gets open, but if this is the least bit underthrown or inside, that's a pick six.
Oh, absolutely, a 99-yarder to the
right
house.
On the money, exactly. So he gets it on the money, puts it only where his receiver can get it. It's one of the most difficult 5-yard routes to hit in college because of where the hashes are. So I'm impressed by the throw.
I'm noticing too, towards the end of the game, they started to do a 2-man blocking scheme as well. They were just playing man, bam, 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 lock you up. You already knew this was gonna be a quick pass situation.
When NC State's only running 3 down linemen and maybe pulling a linebacker down on the line of scrimmage as well, why not?
I bet you Garrett was like, I don't care, your linebackers suck right now. So I'm going to lock up your best guys, which is the guys that have been rushing me, which is all the down linemen this whole game. The 3 technique was destroying them on the left side of the field the whole time. You know what? We'll bring 2 people in. Actually, we'll have the tight end come in and help out too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good. The thing that I like about Klubnik too, and like we said, guys, this is the last play. Look at the footwork from Klubnik. It's not a lot of movement, and it's not a lot of space where he's getting too wide. Bro, this is a perfect throwing motion. Perfect, everything about it. He points that toe, gets it right to the outside. If y'all didn't know, now you know. I mean, I've been saying this for 2 years now. 3 years at this point in time. I don't know what our predictions are gonna look like by the time when we talk about the college football playoff, but all of us are high on Clemson in some aspect. So, did all of us have Clemson? I can't remember.
I
don't think
the
all of us
ACC. No,
let me see.
I think someone had Miami
Let's go
or
back
something.
I don't think it
Or
was.
did we all? We may have all had Clemson as the winner and just had different runner-ups.
Sora had SMU.
SMU winning?
Yeah.
Mm.
He had Clemson as a runner-up. You had my goodness, man. The amount of times I went back and forth in my mind who was either going to be Miami or Louisville as my runner-up, bro.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
my god.
It was a tough one this year with the ACC.
So yeah, we pretty much. I don't think we had any team sweeping as our winner. Oh no, Oregon State, which y'all see that on Tuesday.
Yeah. The thing I find very interesting about Louisville, right, is they return 8 starters on both sides of the football. And
who? Louisville,
yeah.
That's
when you look at who they're
that's including
bringing
Colin Lacey, right?
Yeah. And then when you consider at least on offense, right, one of those guys who you're replacing is Tyler Shugg with Miller Moss.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Miller Moss, yeah, he didn't have the best year at USC. He showed some good signs. He's got a reliable slot receiver, and in my opinion, a top 10 running back in college football. So,
yeah,
what more could you ask for?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's your stream will be terminated in 5 minutes. Okay. You talking to the guy that works in IT. I know how this shit works.
Oh yeah.
The trolls always have fun here. Meeting a brick wall. I'm just trying to think, like, what? I would have had Cade. I think all of you guys had Cade Klubnik as your number one quarterback, except for me, and I had Lenore Sellers. But I just feel like he's gonna take that much of a step up this year. When the goggles came off, bro, the dude was on another level. He put the contacts in. It was Lenore Sellers' season for real.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could hold back Sellers is going to be the departures of the few solid offensive weapons around him. He needs his receivers to take a big step up this season, right? You lose Josh Simon at tight end. You lose Raheem Sanders at running back. And I need to double check, what Rasul Faison's...
He's still not official.
Yeah, his eligibility.
I want my boy to play, man.
Let's see.
Oh, wait. We got some breaking news on that. Okay. Rasul Faison's comments on NCAA lawsuit. You saw upon his transfer to South Carolina, Faison was notified by NCAA that his request for additional year was not approved. Now, Faison is in the midst of a law dispute with the NCAA over his eligibility. In 2020, Faison was at Lackawanna Community College, but did not play, nor did he play in 2021 when he was enrolled at Marshall. In 2022, Faison returned to JUCO ranks at Snow College in Utah. after spending 2 years at Utah State, he's now applying for a similar approval to that of Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, to no avail at this moment. See, that would be crazy if they don't let him play, bro.
Yeah. He said, though, he is ready to enter into this NFL supplemental draft if the NCAA doesn't allow him to play for South Carolina.
They've already said they're not having one this year. So he's screwed.
Supplemental draft?
Yeah. They announced that they weren't.
I'm looking at this from 3 days ago.
Let's see, because I think they just announced it like yesterday. NFL supplemental.
Or he'll become an undrafted free agent by default.
The NFL informed teams that for the second consecutive years there won't be a supplemental draft this summer.
Oh yeah,
that was 3 days ago. Yeah, I thought I had saw that.
So he's just gonna have to be a free agent, and I certainly hope he can play for South Carolina this year. But when you look at it, right, Sellers is losing 2 reliable options on offense, and
yeah.
And also that defense is probably just going to regress based off of how many key starters they're losing.
Yep.
So it's definitely going to be a challenge for Sellers to take that next step. But boy, if he does, which he's got the tools to do it. But if he puts it all together, man, you're going to see an incredible quarterback class in this next draft. You could see 3 in the top 5. I could see Klubnik, Sellers, Aller, Nussmeier. Depending on how their seasons go, they could 3 of those 4 could go top 5.
Yeah, so that's an interesting conversation because let's see who could need a quarterback. The Dolphins. If Drake May doesn't pan out, the Patriots. Maybe the Jets. Ravens are good. Bengals are good. The Browns. So that's 4. The Steelers. That's 5. Texans are good. Colts maybe 6. Jaguars maybe 7. The Titans are good. Broncos are good. Chiefs are good. Raiders.
You already get them?
No, not yet. So the Raiders. The Chargers are good. Cowboys maybe. The Giants. Eagles,
the Giants will.
Eagles, Commanders. Let's see. Bears are good. Lions maybe. So that's 11. Packers. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'll leave them out because they just paid Jordan Love a ton of money. The Vikings.
I don't think they'll give up on McCarthy that quickly.
Nah, the Falcons won't. The Panthers won't. The Saints maybe at 11. That would suck, but it's a possibility. The Buccaneers no. The Cardinals no. The Rams maybe.
If the Rams very well could be.
12. 49ers no. And the Seahawks no. So that's crazy that 12 teams may need a quarterback next year. So you might be right, bro. Who is it? Cade, Lenore's, Drew, Nussmeier.
If Texas goes all the way, I think Arch will enter the portal. Or not portal, and Arch will enter the draft. But again, that's more of a long shot. You're looking at maybe even Sam Levitt if he's able to put together another fantastic campaign. John Mateer, oh for
Carson Beck. Josh Hoover if he has the year that we think he's gonna have.
Yup, Josh Hoover. Sawyer Robertson out of Baylor.
Sawyer Robertson. Damn, bro. This might be crazy next year how many quarterbacks come out in the first round.
Haynes King out of Georgia Tech. Miller Moss at Louisville. If Connor Wigman bounces back at Houston. You're looking at a potentially very deep quarterback class. Because again, a lot of these guys are redshirt sophomores, so they they have multiple years of eligibility after this season. They are no rush necessarily to enter the draft. Talking about guys like Sam Levitt, Lenora Sellers, Arch Manning. I mean, even Nico Iamaleava, right? But then you also have a guy like Gio Lopez, who's going to be a redshirt sophomore at UNC, who just transferred there from South Alabama. I don't know if he's. I don't think he's the type of guy to, or I don't think he's going to even have the type of season to where he's going to be. He's going to want to leave UNC after a year for the draft as a redshirt sophomore, but he's still a name who could, in theory. So you're looking right now at a lot of talented quarterbacks across the country. Oh, Ty Simpson. Look, Ty Simpson's going to get drafted on day 2, at least. This is probably going to happen, right? He's draft eligible. He's stepping into a system with one of the best offensive lines in the country. You have Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard out wide, right?
And what's his name? Ryan Grubbs just came back. Yep.
So if you're Ty Simpson, you look at the meteoric rise that Michael Penix had from his time, injury-riddled seasons at Indiana, transferring to Washington, and you're like, man, that can be me, right? That should be your goal. You want to be Michael Penix in terms of his draft stock going up and up and up. You want to make a national championship like Penix did. If you're Ty Simpson, your goal, which is totally attainable, is first round.
That boy got a rocket too, bro.
Third, but yeah, Ty Simpson, if he is able to start and hold on to that starting job over the course of the season and ball out, he is absolutely going to be considered one of the top quarterbacks in this class. He will. And I think there's good reason to believe that he can and will do that. You look at the way that Alabama's offensive system, when it was at Washington, how it worked, right? You saw what happened this past season, when it was at its best earlier on in the first, 5-6 games. So Ty Simpson is absolutely a name to watch. He doesn't get talked about much because we don't even know for sure if he's going to be the starting quarterback.
He's not a for sure thing.
But right. And we haven't really seen him much at all. But
it's funny, this dude said Texas A&M is better. You're talking to a dude that's going to Texas A&M right now.
A&M's better than who?
Than Alabama.
That is news to me.
People severely doubt what they're about to do this year, bro. Didn't they flip the 5-star linebacker from USC today?
Who?
I believe Alabama did. Yeah.
Wouldn't put it past them. They've been going off in recruiting. Look.
Hey, check it out. We haven't even finished a full list of quarterbacks. If Kyron Drones goes off this year,
yeah,
Kyron's in there. Chandler Morris just transferred to Virginia.
Yeah, you got the Chandler Morrises, the Caden Veltkamps of the world.
Yep.
The Joey Aguilars, Taylor Greens.
With the Jake Ratzlaff thing, we're not going to talk about this on Tuesday, by the way. It's just it's too icky for us.
Yeah.
But if he transfers, is it just a school suspension or is it an NCAA violation? I think it's just a BYU violation, right?
Yeah.
But who's gonna want to touch that when he's got the grape allegation behind it? Rocco Becht, we didn't even mention him. Caden Salter. What's his name? Baron Morton from Texas Tech.
That's true, yeah.
Jalen Daniels doesn't have no more eligibility left.
He does.
Noah Fafita. Devin Dampier.
Oh my gosh, he does have more eligibility.
Who?
Jalen Daniels, bro.
Yeah, that's it. This is last year.
He was out.
No, he applied and got it. He got an extension. It's crazy.
Oh, and you also got Luke Altmaier up there at Illinois. And
Yeah.
balls,
What do y'all think about Tyler Booker coming to the Dallas Cowboys? I think the Cowboys had the best draft this year, but all of us were high on Tyler Booker. They needed a guard, and he's gonna be a beast for them, man. What week is the game? How does Boise look this year? What week is the game?
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about Boise on Tuesday. Make sure y'all tune in 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and Khalid gonna be cooking about the Mountain West for sure.
Oh yeah.
Just one name, Maddox Madsen. people sleeping on my boy. I've been trying to tell these Ashton Genty fans, man. Like, we love Ashton. We were the number one guys talking about how good that he was. But one thing that I mentioned last year is Maddox Madsen. I remember we was reading all the reports about Maddox and how good that he was doing. You know, it was crazy.
I got one thing on Boise State too. Look, I just don't want to come across as like I'm hating on Ashton Genty. I'm not. Again, I want to say this. I thought he should have won the Heisman, and I still stand by that. But you have to realize how good that offensive line was. And if you don't want to believe me, here's a stat line of true freshman running back and backup for Boise State, Sire Gaines, who, by the way, if he wins the starting job, they're going to have another incredible running back.
Yep.
20 carries, only 20 carries this season, 156 yards and a touchdown. That's 7.8 yards per carry on 20 carries. So let's get into by game, right? Because he only played in the first 3 games of the season, then took a red shirt, right? His first game against Georgia Southern, which, yes, is Georgia Southern, but Ashton Genty went off against them, as he should have. Sire Gaines had 12 carries for 110 yards and a touchdown, 9.2 yards per carry, along with 3 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown. Against Oregon, right, it was a little bit of rough sledding, 6 carries for 22 yards, 3.7 average, not bad. And then Portland State, 2 carries for 24 yards, 12 yards per carry. Sire Gaines is going to be the next great running back out of Boise State. I'm telling you right now. And when he goes off again this season, you're really just going to see, right, what was the machine that kept Ashton Genty going. It was his offensive line. The machine that's going to protect Maddox Madsen is going to be his offensive line.
T-Bit-W, appreciate you, bro. Yeah, we're doing well, man. Can't complain. Sitting there talking some football, watching some film. Talk about what you think about the Cowboys draft picks. Do you think they will have a chance this year? Absolutely. I think they're one of the most improved teams, especially through the draft. Look, the Cowboys are in the right spot at the right time to get not only Tyler Booker, they got Donovan Azaraku, who all of us ranked him as a first-round prospect. We also ranked Siobhan Revel. Did you have Siobhan as your number 1 corner?
Yeah. Yeah.
So most of us had him as a number 1 corner in this draft, despite his injury. Jadon Blue, nobody was a bigger Jadon Blue fan than me and Khalid. Like,
yeah.
As long as he can fix his fumbling issues, he's gonna be all right. Then you go and get Shamar James, who's like a round 3 type of linebacker from Florida. A Johnny Cornelius they got from Oregon, who should have been chosen in the first 4 picks. Phil Maffa. Jay Toa, and then they got Tommy King Basodi from Maryland. Like, all those guys are solid, bro. Look, and they should have been chosen higher.
Yeah, in my opinion, when you get 3 first-round talents in your first 3 picks, where only one of them was actually a first-round pick, that is excellent drafting, especially when you look at what positions they were at. All right, first guy, guard. Okay, Tyler Booker, guard. You don't think guard necessarily all the time in your top 15, but when it's an extreme position of need and when your franchise has been at its best, it's been when you have elite play along the offensive line and at guard. Zach Martin, right? Travis Frederick, Tyron Smith along the offensive line. That's when the Cowboys were at their best. Now you're retooling. You have Tyler Smith, right? You have Tyler Guyton. You add in the 3rd Tyler for Tyler Cubed, and that's a good pick. Then you go to edge rusher.
Mm-hmm.
arguably one of the most, if not the most important position on defense, right? In Donovan Ezeraku, we had him as a first-round talent.
Yep.
Then you go out and get Siobhan Ravel, cornerback, arguably, once again, one of the most important positions on a defense. And look, if he bounces back from his injury and is able to fully recover and get back to how he was playing, when he was at East Carolina, you got the best cornerback in the class in the third freaking round. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know how else to say it. And then yes, like going to guys like Shamar James and Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa, guys who offer a lot of starting potential as late round picks, especially Jaden Blue out of Texas, what he offers as a pass catcher and how fast he is. Watch him against Clemson, right? Clemson has a very good defense. Watch how he literally just outruns them all. Well, in their playoff game in Austin, Jaden Blue is a extremely fast and agile running back with a receiving ability that is top notch for a running back. The only problem, like Dante said, is the fumbles. His fumble rate is way too high. If he cleans that up, man.
He had like 7 in his career or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, and on somewhat limited touches, right? That's another thing is when you look at the fumble rate,
the quality of it,
fumbles divided by touches, it's jarringly high. So if he can work on that, man, he's going to be dangerous. Also, if y'all are in fantasy drafts, especially dynasty ones, get Jaden Blue.
Hey, and welcome everybody that's
PPR. Oh my.
Welcome everybody that's new to the channel and just hanging out with us, man. Thank you so much for popping in. Andrew said, where do you find your All-22 tape? I went through the scouting program and I got special access to a lot of the films. So unfortunately it's not out there for everybody to get, but once you go through the NFL scouting program or know somebody, it's pretty it's pretty sacred ground. George Pickens to Dallas is going to be so awesome. Opinions on getting George Pickens. There's a video on the channel if you want a more in-depth look at what I thought about George Pickens. If you go to our videos, George Pickens is on the thumbnail. But a little sneak peek, what I'll tell you is he gives a different aspect of what CeeDee Lamb does. He's an outside presence, has some of the best hands in the NFL. It can stretch the field. Not the fact that CeeDee Lamb can't do that. It's just the fact that when you look at their heat maps, especially, CeeDee Lamb's like kind of all over the place. George Pickens really does his work outside the numbers. So you have a dynamic at wide receiver that's pretty unique, to be honest. I think Deuce Vaughn will be the next Emmitt Smith. Watch. No, that's cap. That's cap. He's been buried on that depth chart. Deuce Vaughn. He's been buried on that depth chart. They've had so many running backs come through there while he's been there already. And whenever you have to bring back Ezekiel Elliott and they drafted you just a year prior, he's not gonna be Emmitt Smith. I'm sorry. They did that out of the kindness of his dad being one of the staff members there. Deuce Vaughn had a really good Kansas State career, but he's just so small. He'll forever it. You can't put him on the other level of some of those other running backs that have played in the league, like Darren Sproles and Danny Woodhead. He's not that dynamic. So I would temper your expectations about Deuce Vaughn being the next Emmitt Smith because he's already 2 years removed on what running backs usually last in the NFL. He's got running backs have a very short shelf life, especially if they're not getting first team reps right away. So that tells you how much that's just the grim reality of a running back. We can look at guys like Alfred Morris that came out the gate like a cannon, and then a couple injuries, getting traded to a couple teams, ruined his career. So, do you agree that Genty should have come to Dallas? No. It's not for us to determine.
The offensive line still needed work. I mean, you have to remember,
he was kind of like a dream to draft, being from Frisco and all that stuff. You need a running back clearly in Dallas, or needed, but
you guys picked up Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders.
I don't know if that moves the needle for me. It's just like the offensive
It doesn't
line work.
but it doesn't, but it gives them depth, and they were able to attack what they need to. Like, dude, you can't pass up Tyler Booker, Donovan Ezaraku, or Siobhan Revel where they fell, man.
Think about it this way, right? You look at all of the running backs who have entered the league, especially as top draft picks, right? Like top 10, top 15. Look at the ones who have succeeded out the gates. I mean, you look at, I'm assuming, I know you said, A&M stuff earlier, but you're a Cowboys fan. But you look at a guy like Bijan Robinson out of Texas, and then Ezekiel Elliott, right, who obviously the Cowboys drafted. Both of them have hit the ground running as rookies. Why? Because of their offensive lines. Yes, they're elite talents, but they were both drafted to excellent situations. Yeah. And you look at some other guys, kind of like a Leonard Fournette, who, he had some solid years, but it was difficult to sustain that. You look at a guy like Saquon Barkley, he had a couple good years, but he was always getting hurt and wasn't as effective at times because the offensive lines just weren't where they needed to be in order to support an elite running game and an elite running back. You look at Ashton Jinty and even where he fell now with the Raiders. They needed a running back, but that offensive line, the way that it is going to need a lot of work, and they're going to need to see a drastic shift under Pete Carroll if they want Jinty to have a long, sustained, successful career in Vegas. And if he went to the Dallas Cowboys without drafting Tyler Booker, I think it would have been very similar, right? The offensive line just wasn't at a place that wasn't in a good place to support an elite level running back to meet the expectations that have been placed upon Jinty after his incredible final season in college, especially when you think about it this way. Washington and Philadelphia, two of your division rivals, just made an NFC championship game, one of them winning the Super Bowl. The Eagles have an amazing front seven. Washington has a very stout defense coached by Dan Quinn, right? Their head coach, your former DC. And then you look at your other division rival in the New York Giants, who have assembled an incredible defensive line, right? Darius Alexander, Dexter Lawrence, right? Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter. A lot of these, running the football against your divisional opponents is not going to be easy if you're Dallas. So taking Jinty, if he was theoretically there, in my opinion, you're getting the best running back in the class, sure. Yeah. But you aren't setting your team up well for success because your offensive line isn't where it needs to be. Dak would get killed, right? If you weren't addressing the offensive line like you have with a Johnny Cornelius and Tyler Booker. And Jinty wouldn't be able to do the things that he is capable of doing because he wouldn't have an offensive line really to support him. So while yes, it's kind of we wish he had the homecoming storyline with Ashton Jinty, you needed to go offensive line. You needed to. Whether it was guard or tackle, that's up for debate. Again, I still think Tyler Guyton should have been moved back to right tackle, but that's besides the point. Offensive line was the right move. As nice as it would have been, you want to go cheap at running back with the way that your roster is currently built because it's the most easily replaceable position in the entire league right now. That's just the reality of it. So until you get an elite offensive line, don't even bother about splashing premium draft capital or big bucks in free agency on a running back.
What's up, Tony? How you doing, man? I just think what people are overlooking is how good Javonte Williams was a couple years ago, and it's just been unfortunate that dude pretty much tore everything in his knee a couple years ago, and he's still trying to recover from that. And then he was in a rotation that didn't really favor him or any of those running backs there with the Broncos, right? And you had not only him, you had Jaleel McLaughlin, and then you draft Andrick Estime on top of having a rookie quarterback that's sitting there trying to find his way with, a couple of rookies everywhere on that offense. And it was a good thing that they traded him away. I wouldn't give up on Javonte Williams. And if he's not that great this year, then you can obviously rely on the Phil Moffas and the Jaden Blues and the rest of those guys. But Miles Sanders is not going to move the needle. I think he's overstayed his welcome on being a starter in the NFL. Dak overstayed his welcome, but he's a good quarterback, but doesn't need to stay in Dallas. I don't see Joe Milton starting over Dak unless, like, look, you guys could say that he overstayed his welcome and everything, but the thing is to us, he's still a top 15 quarterback. And if you're still a top 15 quarterback, you are a bona fide starter on your team. I think what Joe Milton does is either gets him past the level that he needs to be at moving forward. He suffered an injury last year too. Don't forget that. And so you have a safety blanket there just in case he's not healthy enough, or you want, you can obviously lean back on Joe Milton if he's going to be the guy moving forward, but they're in a pretty good position. And also, guys, this whole team is about to change, right? You bring Brian Schottenheimer in. I had a video with Jay Tuck. If you guys want to watch that, we talked about Dak Prescott and the rest of them too. So if you go to our live tab and go to my episode with CFO Sports, we talk about the Dallas Cowboys and nauseum. But yeah, we totally agree that people would give up on Dak too much. Like, look, playoff wins, you win or you lose, right? And we don't get by with the argument of like, he doesn't win playoff games. It's a team sport at the end of the day. So I'll never put a win or a loss onto a quarterback.
I saw a comment in there about trading Micah Parsons for TJ Watt.
That would be insane.
That would be, but I guess my question is, why would you want to trade Micah Parsons for someone who's just straight up older than him?
A 4-year guy versus like an 11-year guy. That's crazy work.
And think about it this way, right? Because I understand that you're kind of in a contract dispute with Micah Parsons trying to extend him. You realize that TJ Watt's in the same exact situation, right? You're going to have to pay someone a lot of money. So if you're trying to get rid of Micah Parsons because he's being difficult to negotiate with, why would you trade for someone who is currently in contract negotiations but is difficult to work with, right? That doesn't make any sense, especially when you're getting older at the position. Don't get me wrong, TJ Watt's still elite, but you have a young star in this league. Both of them are in the same spot in terms of their contract. Keep Micah Parsons, which hurts me to say it because I'm an Eagles fan. I want Micah Parsons, but I don't want Dallas to have him. But that's I don't think that's a good idea.
And you have a guy that's versatile that can fill in, right? TJ Watt is not. Here's the other thing. I do like that comment from Jason. What up, Jason? He says TJ and Micah may be waiting on one or the other to sign so they can make more.
Literally,
that's a great comment. But also on the other side of that, excuse my French, but why the fuck would you trade for TJ Watt when Micah Parsons can play outside linebacker and defensive end just as good as each other? People tend to forget this is the thing that we've been trying to educate people on. Me and Klee have been banging the table on this. Stop comparing TJ Watt to Myles Garrett because they play two totally different positions. You will never see Myles Garrett drop back in coverage because he's not an outside linebacker like TJ Watt is.
And think about this. TJ Watt is a 3-4 rushing outside linebacker. The Cowboys run a base 4-3. He doesn't even fit in your defensive front. Micah Parsons is able to play as a traditional defensive end.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is why you come to us, because we dispel all those myths of just normal, casual podcasters that just speak out their ass about this. Like, I had somebody tell me the other day, he's a left outside linebacker. I'm like, that's Madden shit. Like, he's either a weak or strong side backer. And what base set does he play in? Like, don't come to ECG with that bullshit.
And the funny thing is now both Madden and college football are switching from right, left, middle linebackers to Mike, Sam, and Will. So they're actually, making their naming conventions for their positions accurate to real life, which I think is good. They've been years behind on that. But again, I digress. But they don't even technically, yes, they're both edge rushers, but they do not play the same positions. They don't. Trading Micah Parsons for TJ Watt is a Madden thing. And while I don't know, that would just be crazy for Jerry to trade a budding, not even a budding, an established young star. Right? That's unlike him. You look at the Zekes, the Daks, the CDs of the world. You extend them.
Yeah.
You meet whatever demands they want because you're the Dallas Cowboys. You're Jerry Jones. You want to stay in the spotlight. You need to stay in the spotlight. You're America's team and all that other jazz. He's not going to trade away Micah Parsons.
Yep.
If he does, man, I mean,
That's
I'll be
crazy.
happy as an Eagles fan, but that would just be wild and would be a terrible decision by the Cowboys.
How good would the Cowboys line be if Tyler Smith, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Booker, and Cooper Beebe were all next to each other on the O-line?
Well,
What?
we're about to find out.
We're about to find out. Imagine TJ Watt, Myles Garrett on the same defensive line at the same team. They won't be because they play in two totally different defenses. One's a 4-3 guy, a down lineman, and the other one's an outside linebacker and a 3-4 front. Like we just said that. You'll never neither is it unlikely that you're going to be able to pay both of those sons of bitches the money that they want. That'll be the most expensive two-man defensive line ever of all time.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to keep them. You won't be able to keep them.
This isn't basketball where you can have two of the highest paid players in the entire league on the same team.
Yeah. I didn't mean to press the button. But that was kind of like clutch at the same time. CDs. Wait, huh? I'm not saying it. Are you trying to drag me into something? Or did something happen to CD Lamb? Just imagine the habit TJ.
I said CDs.
Oh.
Haha. You got me, Jason.
Just imagine it though, the havoc TJ and Garrett would cause. Oh, it would be unfair. But this is the reason why you don't see two guys like that on the same team for very long. Usually if one excels or they both excel at the same time, then you have a situation where one of those guys goes off to another team and they get paid a millions and millions of dollars, right? It's never like the other way around. So you can't maintain having both of those guys on your team. And that's a great thing for the individual player, but you know, TJ wouldn't wreak havoc for very long with him. They'll have like one good year together. Not everybody's Danielle Hunter, where he'll keep taking. Well, Danielle Hunter was kind of the opposite. There was never anybody that was his equal. He was always, he was hurt a couple times, but then also he would always take pay cuts for the Vikings. And then they draft. This is crazy. Then they draft Dallas Turner. And then they go and get Blake Cashman and the rest of those guys to come after he left. Oh, like, brother. It's kind of crazy how they do that shit after a profile player like him. Hey, look. We gave homie his flowers, by the way.
Yep.
Danielle Hunter's one of them ones. Just imagine that the Parsons, Garrett, and TJ Watt on the same team would break the NFL. That would never happen. This is why it's such a chess match, because you throw money into it. It's like playing Counter-Strike. Your economy can either make or break your team. I like that reference. I'm gonna start using that shit. The NFL is like Counter-Strike. If you don't manage your economy, you can lose the whole game. It's not about like the shooters on your team sometimes. It's about who can, if you got a Howie Roseman playing Counter-Strike, you probably gonna win the game.
Yeah.
This is why a lot of people don't play Counter-Strike, because the economy is a big portion of that shit. Tony says, are you ready for college football 26? Absolutely,
bro.
brother.
Know it.
We got 2 more weeks.
Lockdown on pre-order.
Oh, I did too.
Dynasty's gonna go crazy with all the different plays and playbooks. I'm gonna cook up a custom playbook that's gonna be nasty.
Bruh, I can't wait to do the connected franchise the right way this time.
Oh yeah, dude. I was bummed. I saw your message about needing an OC a little bit too late.
Yeah.
Hey, if I ever do see that, bro, I'm jumping on that opportunity to call some plays for you.
Jason, You already got you don't even got to ask for the invite, bro. You get we want to get enough people to run like a full conference. That's it. I don't want to run multiple. I just want to have enough teams. Like if we all chose a team in the SEC, everybody choose a team. Khalid automatically gets Texas A&M. It's just off principle.
You my boys.
Or we do a custom conference where we have all our favorite teams. Yeah. Like the SEC, we have Florida State. Jason would be Arkansas. You'd be Texas A&M. Sora would be Florida. You know what I'm saying? Texas is already there. So Tony, if you want to join in, invites open, brother. Opinions on Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers. I think it's a good thing. Look, I don't think he's gonna be shit like everybody thinks he's gonna be.
He's an upgrade over what they had.
Facts.
I don't know. I don't think the Steelers are contenders, but they're gonna be better than what they were before.
Yeah, but we're gonna have rules, Tony. The rules are this year. You gotta go by the coaches plays. You can only choose from those 3 plays. I dialed it back a little bit. You ain't got to throw it to just the hot route. That makes it a little bit too crazy. You can't do that really on this game. Defenses are too smart. But then you can throw to any route. You can't hot route. You can't do all that crazy shit. It's just however the play is however the play is. But you can switch the running back to one side or the other if you want to. It's just rules like that. Yo, maybe this is a bit off topic, but I wanted to ask if you guys knew anything about wide receiver Coleman Owen from Ohio. He was signed by the... Yes, sir. I know about Coleman Owen. We talked about him. Oh, my gosh. When did we talk about Coleman Owen? It was probably during the draft process. Coleman Owen is nice. He a beast. I think we were talking about like our like UDFAs that might get picked up. Yeah. Texas A&M needs to bring back Jimbo. Hell no.
What are you smoking, bro?
Bro, Jimbo needed
and bring me some in College Station. Like that's one of the most outrageous things I've heard all night.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mike Elko came in there and literally turned them around in 1 year. Brought positivity.
No, we don't need that star chasing man. And when I say he's trying to chase the stars, I don't mean the stars in the sky like he's aiming high. I'm talking about stars on recruiting websites. That's crazy.
Yeah. The thing is, as a Florida State fan, I miss the glory days of when Jimbo was there. I think FSU, quite frankly, effed him up, man. Like the way we handled that whole situation with him was absolutely outrageous, and I understand why he was mad and why. Who's the AD there? That was like his good friend. I forget his name.
At A&M?
Yeah.
Ross Bjork.
Did he change?
Bjork?
Yeah. Has he always been there?
No, he was at... Oh, I think we hired him from like Ole Miss or something, but he's at Ohio State now. His first hire was gonna be... It was going to be Bill O'Brien, and then he ended up getting Chip Kelly instead. So, what a hire that was.
Yeah. So, him and Jimbo are really good friends. And then he was willing to pay him whatever the fuck he wanted. Then he can't.
And he did.
Well, the thing about Jimbo was like, here's like the inside scoop a lot of people don't know, and I always have to correct people. Jimbo wanted money to build new facilities for recruiting. He wanted to upgrade the stadium, which happened the last 3 years. We've upgraded the stadium and everything. Yeah. After he left. But not only did he want new facilities for recruiting football players, the soccer team won a national championship, the volleyball team won a national championship. It was and the softball team all won national championships. And he wanted to get facilities built for all of them. He wanted recruiting to be good for Florida State, and people shit like The crazy thing is it was going to cost him like $20 million to do it. Willie Taggart came in. They spent them $11 million to buy out his contract. Ain't that some shit? It was the boosters.
Yeah.
That's dirty. So I understand why Jimbo was like so mad and ready to get out of there. But what he did at Texas A&M was nasty. He should have took off a year. He should have took off a year after he left.
He did.
Did he?
Yeah. He wasn't coaching this past year.
No, I'm talking about before he went to you guys.
Oh, I see.
Like he should have just took some time to reset before he came back into coaching. Shedeur Sanders should have gone to the Steelers. Why? What is y'all's thoughts on the start of the Cleveland Browns quarterback room? I have a friend that's a scout that worked for the Browns. Now he works for the Bucks, but he's been saying the whole time Dylan started off. His first week was a little rough, and then after he knew that, you know, he was learning the playbook and practicing really well, like he didn't look back. Shedeur has always been kind of decent, but he's always been practicing with the second and third team the whole time. And that Kenny Pickett's probably the best looking quarterback out of all of them right now.
Interesting. How hilarious would it be if he started going off with them after the Steelers drafted him?
Hey, remember me talking about this, bro? I was like, Joe Flacco is not, he already came out and said, I'm not here to coach anybody. I'm not here to be your fucking mentor. I'm here to be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Hey, I kind of respect that out of him for being honest, but he said the same thing when he was with the Colts. He said, I'm not here to mentor Anthony, and he's a grown-ass man. You either get it together. So he's got his own mission. Kenny doesn't really say anything, but that dude got passed around like a $2 whore. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it is. The Steelers didn't believe in him enough, so they gave him off to the Eagles. He won a Super Bowl. Now he's with Cleveland. So he still thinks he's a starter, which is a dangerous mindset to be in for everybody else. Then you got Shedeur, who's now personality-wise has changed the corner and then got himself into some trouble and has all these fans on his side. And then you have Dylan Gabriel, who's getting shit on from everybody because of his height, and he's the one that's outperforming everybody right now. Mm-hmm. As far as like the rookies on that team and Joe Flacco. So it's really a competition between Kenny and Dylan right now. Yeah. So I mean, I think Kenny's personally going to start the season, and then it's going to lead into Dylan getting a starting job after. I think Joe's going to get let go, and they'll keep Shedeur there most likely. I wouldn't be surprised if they let Shedeur go though. They made a lot of money from his jersey sales.
They did, and they may just be like, oh, thank you for the cash, and we will take it and run.
Yep. Opinions on Cowboys linebackers Jack Sanborn and DeMarvion Overshown. DeMarvion Overshown's got to get over his injury issues, but he's a beast.
Overshown was great when he played, but yeah, he's going to be out for the entirety of this next season.
Yep.
So
he can't stay healthy.
Long road to recovery, but a lot of these injuries are like pretty catastrophic injuries. So, you know, they're not like little knickknacks or whatever. They're pretty serious. I hope that he can escape the injury bug, but yeah, he's got a long road to recovery here. Yeah.
Deion Sanders should have been the Cowboys head coach. No. He said he wasn't coming over to the pros anyways to coach. He said this plenty of times.
And I respect that he didn't just use Colorado as a way to propel, you know, himself and his boys, that he's actually sticking it out there and, you know, sticking with the guys he recruited there. Like, the cynical side of me definitely expected him to leave once Shedeur and Travis went to the league.
Oh, yeah, I thought he was full of shit. But I mean, I think now he realizes, like, when you have guys like Jordan Seaton and everything that you've promised, now you feel the burn of, like, you feel the burn of every other college coach that's recruited these guys and said, yeah, I'm going to stay. And then the money comes and everything, or a good opportunity comes in and you bounce out. I think he cares a lot more than the normal coach does, and that's going to bite him in the ass. It's eventually going to bite him in the ass because he's too much of a father figure. Because you can't be too invested into your guys, where it's like you start when you get too invested like that. Which is, I'm not saying don't be like a father figure to these guys, because that's definitely a part of it. But when you're so much more like I'm a father figure and more than a coach, then you start overseeing the little things that they're doing wrong because you care about them so much. And that's not what a lot of guys need, right? Like Cade Salter's not coming there for you to be his father figure. He's coming there to get coaching, to be a part of a program that he wants to win at, and to get his second chance at being at a Power 4 school. So guess what? He doesn't need a ton of coaching. He needs you to make him better than he actually was before. Because this is his last shot. I bet you can tell yourself, I don't need Dion to be my daddy. I need Dion and the rest of that coaching staff to make me better than I was before.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I'm sure there's a lot of players that don't care about that shit anymore. Like Caden's probably made a ton of money at Liberty. Well, you know, when I was talking to the governor of college football, remember he was telling me like he was at the games and he was like Caden was just like taken out. Because remember they lost against Kennesaw State. Mm-hmm. That shit is crazy work.
Oh yeah.
Cowboys win the Super Bowl this year, no doubt about it, bro. You need to temper your expectations, my guy. I remember one year the Jets kept like 4 or 5 quarterbacks going into the season. No wonder why they suck. That's quarterback fatigue. Well, I mean, it's like, how can you make 4 or 5 quarterbacks feel important to your team?
You don't.
You can't. That's why guys only rock out with 2.
Who's getting the important reps in practice, right? Only so many of them are actually going to get reps that really improve them in that setting. I don't know, man. Carrying too many quarterbacks is a risky deal.
Hey, yo, Dacha, did you see Marywood is going to be going to the MAC? Marywood University? They're like a D3 school. Who told you that lie?
Maybe might be like basketball or something, but if they're going to the MAC, they're going to be a non-football member.
Yeah, they'll be a non-football member for sure.
Like Gonzaga in the Pac-12. They're in the Pac-12 starting in 2026, but they
or like for lacrosse, Johns Hopkins is in the Big Ten. But Johns Hopkins is a premier lacrosse program in the country, so you don't see Johns Hopkins football.
No, you do not.
UNT Mean Green needs to have a great year. They were decent last year. My sisters both went to UNT. Chandler Morris is gone.
There you go.
It's gonna be I think your main wide receiver went to the draft, and Chandler Morris is gone. So I can tell you right now, none of us are high on UNT this year. You guys might suck balls. Because Chandler Morris was a P5 quarterback before he went to UNT. Yep. And now he's back in the Power 4. So he came there for 2 years. He's like, all right, guys. Praise God, I'm out. I don't blame him. No, I've never known UNT to be good ever. They are the epitome of a group of 5 school that can be decent.
I want to say they've had a couple 9 or 10 win seasons as of late, but generally generally they're not good.
Yeah, they're not. 805, what up, my man? He said, have a good show, my guy. Yeah, appreciate you, bro, for stopping by. That governor of college football is cool. I love his content. Yeah.
Dude, me too. I love tuning in and listening. Yeah, he's got a lot of good stuff.
4 days a week talking about something different. We chop it up pretty often. I was going to try to...
He knows his stuff. He's prepared. We got to get him on again. I want to be there with him.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna reach out to him because He wanted to do a show with us. He was helping me get into college football big time. Yeah. They were at the Senior Bowl when we got there our first year, and they were like partner with somebody else. But I met a couple of their other guys, and then I was talking to Nino this year. You saw me down there talking to him, and Governor wasn't with him at the time, but he's from Massachusetts. He knows his shit too. Boston College guy through and through. He was a big reason why I got into Thomas Castellanos 2 years ago. To be honest, and now that's bitch asses on our team. Wait until Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to go in. I'm about to go in, bro.
Yeah. Our trending news segment's gonna be that's gonna be a lot of Dante and a lot of me sitting back and having fun.
I mean, a lot of people think we could be biased or whatever. I'm like, how? I don't get where you get any biased comments from us. I can't believe Quinn Ewers went to the Dolphins and almost went undrafted. Why? I'm surprised he dropped that far, but I understand why. The way that the draft was trending with the people that were getting chosen, it made sense why he fell too. To be honest, I'm surprised Curtis Rourke got drafted with how the draft was going. Not the fact that
quarterbacks were sliding. Because the quarterbacks were sliding and his injuries and all that.
Yeah, the injury thing and the way, yeah, exactly. The way that everybody was sliding, I was like, there ain't no way. And then the 49ers are like, hold my beer. I said, okay. Bro, what if Curtis Rourke balls out in the preseason and they just pay Brock Purdy? You think it could be another Joe Milton situation for a team? Where we get the Joe Milton gets traded to the Cowboys in the middle of the season.
Maybe. I tend to think that if they like Curtis Rourke, that he's eventually going to be their starter. Taking a very similar route that Brock Purdy took.
I mean, he was damn near Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Dude, I wish that doctor didn't call down to the NFL and say Curtis Rourke wasn't able to do the combine. Because I saw on a thread somewhere on the Florida State forums that I follow, and somebody's like a Canadian fan, and they've been following Curtis Rourke for a while, and he was saying something about like, you know, it's kind of crazy that he wasn't able to do the combine because he's been ready for like 3 weeks. Like, he's been cleared from his own doctors for like 3 weeks prior to that.
Interesting.
But they had him in like a big ass, like one of those big ass braces, and so the NFL was scared to let him go out there. I'm like, man, Curtis Rourke would have fucking ripped everybody apart probably.
Yeah.
Probably could have rose his draft stock for sure. What do you think will happen to the Dallas Cowboys once Jerry Jones dies? I have no idea.
Yeah, just go to his son and grandson.
I guess you're Cowboys fans because you've talked about no other team outside of Texas colleges and the Cowboys. One NFL team to watch out for is Bo Nix in Denver. Made a video on that a couple weeks ago. If you want to watch my full breakdown, you can watch that. The two teams that have done similar to what the Broncos did last year both ended up in the Super Bowl the next season. When they've had that many games that they lost by one score or less. And the Broncos improved everywhere they needed to improve. I'm telling you, once we do this once we do this dynasty league, man, I'm gonna be hard pressed not to choose RJ Harvey. If he's sitting there for me, RJ Harvey's probably gonna be on my team. I'm letting you know my strategy right now.
Oh, in fantasy?
Yeah, for when we do this dynasty league. Crazy. All right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. I got work in the AM. Then we gotta prepare for college football rush on Tuesday, NFL rush on Wednesday, and then expect me to probably go live tomorrow with something. Probably do another film study or something like that. But we're gonna try to go live for like the next 2 weeks. I'll reach out to the governor of college football, see if we can get him on sometime this week. That'd be dope.
Oh yeah.
But I was gonna meet up with them at the ACC Media Day, but I can't go to that. So
that's a bummer.
yeah, it's just they have it in the fucking middle of the week for everybody. So
yeah,
it's not like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for everything. It's so stupid. Hey man, appreciate everybody that came through.
Oh yeah.
And did what you did. Appreciate all the new people that came through. We'll see y'all tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the next 2 weeks. All right. Talk to you later, man. Peace.